for the wood stove. Hey, there we are. I just had Heather. Uh, I was asking Heather to close the door for the wood stove. We just fired up the fireplace. Didn't have it going all day. I think I'll tell you exactly what the temperature is here in just a moment. I will tell you where we are at. Well, it's saying 62 out. I don't think it's 62. Oh, 58. Okay, there we go. Well, yeah. So it's 58 right now, and it's raining, so it's more damp. But yeah. So anyway, how is everybody this evening? I hope everybody is good. I hope you guys have had a good weekend. Time goes by so freaking quick. It is crazy. So I gotta tell you about a disappointment that happened today in just a moment here. But before we get started, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to be decent in the chat, no racism, no nastiness, and we will have a great chat if that is the case. All right. If you can't abide by those simple, easy rules, those awesome people that are lit up in blue will boot you out of here because we are not going to have it. We don't have that kind of nonsense on this channel. All right. So before we get started, we're already at 268 in the chat. We have 90 thumbs up already. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do that. So what do we have? Let's see. The Friday night we had 611 thumbs up. So we're going to set an early goal. We're going to set an early goal, especially because it's Sunday. We're going to say 650 thumbs up is the goal. All right. So if you have not done so yet, I'm going to ask you to do that to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time. Also, it really does make a big difference with the algorithms. So I thank you for that reason as well. All right. And if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So thank you very much ahead of time. All right. So Heather and I went out today. She wanted to go to the thrift store to get some things, right? So I'm going to give you an example. So this is one of the things I love this type of stuff. All right, it's just thrift stores are awesome. Garage sales are great. Estate sales are awesome. You can get some really good deals and some really good buys. So we go into the thrift store, and of course, I'm looking around. I'm always looking to see what I can get, what I can use, obviously for a cheap price. So what happened? We're going to get into the topic here in just a moment. I just wanted to explain a couple things to you first. So I walk into this thrift store, and one of the things that in my mind that I've been thinking about, prep item that I've been thinking about for a while. I said, you know what? If I can find crutches at some point, and I'm talking, and this has been in my mind 6-8 months. I said, if I can find a decent pair of crutches, cheap, I definitely going to try to get some if I can find a pair. So I walk into Goodwill, I walk around looking at stuff, and boom, there they are, a pair of crutches. Now the pair of crutches had a price tag of $8 on them. All right, I'm like, yeah, you can't go wrong for $8. I also picked up a uh, a tray that you use for baking, for muffins and stuff like that. Really, really heavy duty. That had a price tag on it for $4. You can't get those heavy duty trays anymore for making muffins and stuff like that. So I'm like, this is awesome. So it's going to cost me like $11. I'm going to have a set of crutches and this awesome bake pan, right? So I get up to the register and she rings everything up and she says $4.26. I'm like, really? And she goes, yeah, $4. And I'm like, okay. So I got they look like new. They're not a crappy old wooden pair. They're a metal pair of crutches. Really, really cool. So I picked them up and this uh, tr- baking pan for muffins for $4. And so I'm like, that is a freaking win every freaking time. And so, but again, those are things, again, post event, let's say there's some kind of an emergency happens and some people get injured, somebody has a mechanical injury or whatever the case may be, you need a pair of crutches. You're not running to the store to get a pair of crutches at that point in time. So having those type of things available for yourself, for your group, for your family, for somebody else, I just think that that is a smart thing to do. So I'm always, so it's weird because it's like when I go out and I do any kind of shopping ever, I don't care if it's the grocery store. I don't care if it is Rural King, Walmart, Tractor Supply. Wherever I'm going, I'm always looking. What is something that I could utilize for prepping? What could I get that I could have that I could utilize after some kind? And yes, they were adjustable. Yep, yep. The metal crutches are adjustable, and that's what I liked about them too, Sonia. So I mean, it was like such a great freaking deal. I was like, this is awesome. So those will be going back down with me to West Virginia when I go down there. But yeah, there's always, if you can pick stuff up like that and get a good deal, I mean, you, like I said, you can't go wrong. And at some point, someone's going to get hurt. Even if it is not an SHTF situation, somebody's going to get hurt and need crutches. There you go. Simple as that. All right. So then we go over to the grocery store, decide to do some grocery shopping, do that, and we get a bag of donuts, right? Got to have your donuts. Donuts are awesome. So Heather just comes in here a little while ago, and she goes, "Dad, where's the bag of donuts?" I go out there and I go, "I don't know. You unpacked everything." And she goes, "Yeah, but I don't see them." I said, "Well, we'll look in the truck." So I looked in the truck. The donuts aren't in the truck. So I go, "You got the receipt right there, right?" Yeah. She goes, so I look at they never rang the donuts up. Somehow we must have dropped the donuts or something, but the donuts never got rung up. That we never got them. So very disappointed. Very, very disappointed because I love donuts. So, all right. All right. So just sharing some personal stuff with you. Actually, just getting out and doing something with my daughter is always an enjoyable day. Tomorrow, I'm going to let you know ahead of time. I will be spending time with Eddie as well. We will be picking Eddie up tomorrow. So I'm absolutely, if you actually find someone else fully loaded cash, you will leave it alone or do you rate it? That's a great question, JJ. That is a morality type of question. Ah, I like that question. So here's the question. We're going to talk about this. We'll talk about this and we're going to definitely get into topic. But JJ just said if you accidentally find someone else's fully loaded cash, somebody's got a cash someplace buried away, stashed away, do you leave it alone or do you rate it and take the stuff in there? Now, that's a hard call depending on how old the cash is. If it looks like something that was freshly buried, you know, that's a tough call. I don't know. It would, okay, let me put it like this. For me personally, it would depend on the situation. So, meaning if it is an SHTF event and I stumble across a cache and I need supplies, then yes, I'm taking it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts in that situation. But right now, if I don't need it and I stumble across somebody's cash and it looks like it's fairly fresh and it looks like something that's not, that been there for 15 or 20 years, I'm going to leave it alone. Again, everything depends on the situation. So, kind of that's kind of where I would be at that. It's not even depending on what kind of person you are. Well, I guess it does. I get in some points, but for if I could leave it alone, if I don't need this stuff and it's not a worst type of scenario situation, then I'm leaving it. If it is an end of the world SHTF situation and I find a bunch of stuff, it's mine. Oh, show the shirt. Okay, I got to show. So if you can see this, if you're Canadian, all right, and this was okay. So let me again, I'm going to give the background of this first really quick, and then I'm going to show the rest of this shirt. I was talking about a story that happened to me when I was about 14 years old and I had gone to Canada and I had bought a shirt like this. My mother hated this shirt, hated the shirt. So, of course, it disappeared because she did the laundry, which means she threw it out. So, I was talking about this on a live stream. One of my Canadian ladies who lives up in Canada that follows the channel said to me, I can get you that shirt, Ed. And I said, oh my God, if you can get me the shirt, I will wear it. All right. So here's the shirt. If you're Canadian, show me your beaver. And it's got the beaver head in a precarious situation spot there. Now, it's a joke. It's funny. If you don't like it, you are absolutely watching the wrong channel, because I am a ball buster. I love to bust chops. And this was sent to me by a woman that was older from Canada. So there you are. But I love it. So today I had this shirt on, right? So we're out and about. And we're going to get into the topic, I swear to you, I promise, in just a moment. So we're out and about today. So what do I have to do because of who I am, right? I did ask several ladies if they were Canadian. Excuse me, ma'am, are you Canadian? And she was like, no. I said, oh, well, that's disappointing. She goes, why would you ask? And I pointed to the shirt. So, but then I did clarify and say, just so you know, it's a joke. It's meant to be a joke. And all of them that I asked today were pretty good sports about it. One kind of was like, but other than that, it was pretty good. So anyway, all right. Hey, you know what? You have to laugh. You have to laugh, because if you don't laugh, you're crying, and it just laughing is a better way to go through things. All right. All right. So let's talk about this. Is a powder keg about to go off? Holy crap. Prepper Nurse One is actually going to get on topic. Yes, I am. I want to remind you guys of something before we start this. And this correlates in. Okay. This correlates in. 2 years ago. Look at 2 years ago. What was going on 2 years ago, just before the pandemic? What was going on just before the pandemic? All around the world, people were flipping out. They were having enough. They were frustrated. There were protests going on, from Hong Kong to Lebanon to France, uh, in the United States. All kinds of protests all over the place, and you know, people were upset. They wanted change. They were frustrated with their governments. They were frustrated with policies that were going on within the government. And then, lo and behold, we had a pandemic, lockdowns, things being that you had to do this and you had to comply and all this kind of crap, which we all know what happened as a result of that. Uh, Total and complete control for the most part, right? Except for those people that decided not to play along with that game. And that was very few and far between. Very few and far between. I can remember, I can remember during the height, right, of this scary, scary thing that was going on here in the United States, walking into Walmart. And I remember the one day there was myself, me, and one other person that I ran into in the store, which we came up and greeted each other like long lost friends. We were the only ones that did not have this on our face. We were the only ones. Never wore it, wouldn't wear it. If I went to a store and they said, you can't, we won't serve you, and I would leave. I was not trying to cause trouble. I was not trying to cause dissension. I was not playing that game. That's me, my choice, my thought process. Y'all can think whatever you wanted to. You were told by the government why you were doing it, what you should be doing, right? You weren't doing it for yourself. You were doing it for other people, right? So here we are right now, getting ready to head into fall, right? What happens in the fall every year? There's a season that happens. Some kind of sickness always happens every year, but I'm sure it won't be the regular flu. I don't know. Can't say for sure, because the regular flu disappeared, right? It was no longer there. If you remember correctly, flu wasn't there anymore. Everything was something else. So we have protests happening again right now, right? Look at what's going on in Iran. They're flipping out over in Iran over an event where a woman was beaten to death because she did not have her hijab on correctly, right? The morality police got her. Then they ended up taking her to the hospital and she died, right? 22 years old, right? And they try to say that, oh, well, I think it was a heart issue. Yeah, okay. When you're beaten around the head, when you're beaten really severely around this area, sometimes the brain swells and it causes death. It's a weird concept, has nothing to do with the heart, but that's what happens. Well, I guess that the Iranian people are not. Yeah, and it magically disappeared. Awesome sauce. You are correct. It did magically disappear. It's all gone. Well, it is also, we got to remember, awesome sauce. Let's be realistic. What are we in? We're in an election year. Of course we're in an election year, right? But we can't be telling people that they have to do this, that, or the other thing, at least not until the election's done, right? Of course. Come on. Guys, you got to know how the game is played here. We're in a game. It's a game, right? Remember that. Control, right? Semblance of freedom. Oh, you're free now. Everything's beautiful, right? You can go see baseball games and you can go to football games and you can go to concerts, and that's all right now. Right now, you can do that until we pull out. Wait a minute, where is it? I'll pull it out of my pocket. Oh, we have the next thing to be scared to death about. So here it comes. Don't be surprised. I'm not saying that is going to happen. That's not what I am saying is going to happen. All right. I don't make those predictions. But what I do say is once we have our election cycle is done, it would not surprise me at all in any way, shape, or form if the next thing came down the pike. It doesn't surprise me at all. It won't surprise me. And when it happens and people say, wow, I can't believe that that happened, you heard it here first, right? Won't be shocked in any way, shape, or form. Any way, shape, or form. And also remember this, whatever party wins, right? Whatever party wins in this election cycle, control the House, control the Senate, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because remember this, and you're hearing this from Prepper Nurse One, okay? I've been watching this stuff since I was a kid. These Democrats, Republicans, independents, they are beholden to the special interest groups that get them elected. They are beholden to their rich friends. They are not beholden to you and me because we are peons. We are nobodies. They don't care about us. I wish more people would realize that. I love when people say to me, well, Prepper Nurse One, you don't vote. You need to get out there and vote and make that change. That ain't going to do it, folks. That ain't going to do it because all you're doing is trading one rich scumbag for the next rich scumbag. That's all you're doing. And that's strictly my opinion. That's strictly my opinion. But nothing will ever change until we change it. And there's only one way that those type of things happen. All right. There's only one way those type of things happen. So that's just my take on it. You can do whatever you want to do. If you think going out and voting is going to make a big difference and it's going to change everything, you go ahead and do what you got to do. I just pay attention. I watch the rich get richer. I watch the big businesses just do nothing but continue to make money while all the mom and pop businesses close up, got them out of the way. All these restaurants that are never going to be open again that you'd like to go to, they're out of the way. They're gone. So many people have lost, their livelihoods, ways to make money. It's all gone. Okay. So here's a. So who do you vote for, right? Who do you vote for? And here's somebody had made a statement to me the other day, and I've heard this statement many times. The election cycle comes up, and you have a choice for president, and people will say to me, "Well, I voted for the lesser of two evils. They both sucked. But I voted for the one that I thought would be less scummy." So how does that work? You know what I mean? How does that work? And again, but it is what it is. But anyway, we're seeing things ramping up again around the world. People are getting sick and tired. You're having protests over. I'm going to tell you what, Heather and I, like I said, we went grocery shopping today and really did not get a lot of stuff. Two bags of groceries, and it was $120. And I'm looking at this and I'm going, what in the heck is going on? it is amazing to me. How are people surviving? I saw a thing today. Hochul, the governor here in New York, had posted a thing about, people are, you know, really concerned how they're going to heat their homes come fall. All right, they're they're flipping out about it, which is completely understandable. How are they going to heat their homes? What are they going to do? And you're gonna, what, do you have to make a choice? Do you eat or do you stay warm, or do you put that thermostat down so low that you're freezing in your own house? Do you have a backup? What are your backups? How are you planning if we get into winter here and it's a bad winter? Because you never know year to year. Last year for up here, we did not get a ton of snow. It was pretty cold. I will say that it was pretty cold up here in New York last year, but we did not get a ton of snow. That doesn't mean that this year there won't be a ton of snow. There probably could be. The possibilities there. It does generally happen up here in New York. Now, I will tell you this: I won't be here in New York when it's snowing. You know what I mean? Uh, yes, 80K or 80K man's got a great statement. Hochul asked us to leave. I want you to think about this. She was like, if you don't have our values, and I love their values, by the way, right? Catch and release, no bail. If you're a scumbag and you're breaking the law, they just let you back out so you can go do it some more with the bail reform laws that they have, right? Awesome. Great. Criminals, I'm sure, are having a field day with that one. But because if you don't like the narrative that they're putting out there, you can leave the state. She said, if you're a Republican and you have that mindset, you can leave. Well, people are leaving. I just read, and this is Florida alone, over a 9-month period, that over 40,000 people have left New York and went to Florida. And that was from the DMV, people switching over their license from New York to Florida. And that's just one state. So, how many more people, New York has lost a congressional seat because of the number of people leaving the state. And Florida is one example that's picked up a congressional seat because they have a whole bunch of more people coming in there. I'm going to tell you what, I love Florida. I think Florida is a great place to visit. It's a beautiful state as far as that goes. Way too flat for me. I got to have my mountains. I love my mountains. You couldn't pay me to live in Florida. That's just me personally. Too flat, too hot. No, thank you. Okay. So that's just me. No judgment on anybody that lives in Florida. Like I said, I love to go there and visit. It's a great state to visit. Love going to the ocean. I've been down there plenty of times, and I will continue to go back down there. But people are they're fed up. They're frustrated. They're irritated. They're aggravated. Taxes. There's a lot of movement in this country right now. A lot of movement. People are moving out of certain areas and they're moving into other areas. Okay, they're tired of the high taxes. And here's the thing. And actually, I had this conversation. Actually, I had this conversation with Steve, and he said to me, and this is a good point. And I when he said it, Steve is like my like a sounding board. So we'll have discussions and we'll talk about different things. And he has a different take on a lot of things than I do. But we've been friends for a very long time. Certain things we agree to disagree on. So we were having, and I had made the statement. I says, how is it that these people will move out of California after they voted for policies that made California what it is, or New York? They voted to make the state the way it is with their policies. So now they have high taxes. It's ridiculous regulations in control in those states. So then they move to another state and they vote the same way. And so he said to me, he goes, well, let me ask you this. Because of leaving New York State, did your views change when you were moving into West Virginia? And I said, well, no, of course not. And he said, exactly. And it made sense. When I looked at it from that aspect, your views are your views. They don't change just because you move to a different area. So I thought that was really, really interesting. That that was the concept of that, where people were like, their mindset is what it's going to be, and it stays there, and it's like that. So what, we had 775 in the chat, guys. We only got 298 on the thumbs up. So like I said, the goal is going to be 650, but let's see if we can blow past that goal tonight. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And I want to thank you ahead of time for doing so. Again, it really makes a big difference with the algorithms. So I thank you for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure that you hit the bell notification to get all notifications as well. So thank you ahead of time. When you see, and we're going to go back here on topic, is the powder keg about to go off? When you see the people, and I'm going to tell you what, if you walk around the United States right now, I don't care where in the United States you are at, people are frustrated. They are at their wits' end. They have had enough, okay? And it doesn't matter if they're left-leaning or right-leaning. It doesn't matter. As it's being fed into the media, it's the other guy's fault, right? It's not my fault. It's the other guy's fault. So the other party, it's not my fault. It's the other guy's fault. That's how they get you to put their party in control. That's how they do it. It's a game. You got to remember here, we've had the last 2 years, we've had a Democratic president, Democrat-controlled Congress, and a Democrat-controlled Senate. What have they accomplished other than that huge debt bill that they threw on us, right? The Build Back Better, the big green thing, because, we have to save the planet. Other than that, realistically, what have they done? Now, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do the same thing and talk about the same thing in the other context. Trump was president. Republicans controlled the House. Republicans controlled the Senate. What did they accomplish in that 2-year period? What these people do, because they're all on the same team, folks, they'll fight and they'll have their discussions and nothing changes. Nothing gets accomplished. Nothing gets accomplished. Okay? And you have bought into the conservative state. All right, well, I realize I'm in a conservative state, and that's one of the reasons why I went there. It's one of the reasons why I went there. So I picked it for a lot of reasons. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on. No, he's in the house. What's Buddy doing, Had? Ah, there he was. Okay. I kept hearing Buddy, and I'm like, where's Buddy? He's locked in the bathroom. Sorry, folks. I kept hearing Buddy crying, and I'm like, is he outside the door? So I looked outside the door first. Nope, he wasn't there. And then I can still hear him crying. He was locked in the bathroom. Because we have to close the bathroom door when we leave the bathroom because the puppies like to go in there and get into the garbage. So, they cannot be trusted because they're dogs, and that's what dogs do. All right. Yeah, the duties of a cat parent are never over. So, all right. What I think you're going to see happen, and this is just my take on it, this is just strictly my opinion, backed by nothing other than my opinion, okay? Moving forward here after this election cycle is done, I think there will either be a major event of some sort. I'm not going to tell you what it's going to be. I don't know what it would be. I have no inside knowledge of any of that type of thing, okay? There will either be that. We will have possibly of power outages that will be blamed on saboteurs. That would not shock me either. You will have either they'll get us into a war. They seem really intent on getting us into a war. That would not shock me at all if that was something that happened as well. There's going to be something that they have to do to try to get us to come together and galvanize us for a fight against some unknown enemy of this at this time. One that they have created or one that they say is the boogeyman that we need to be afraid of. I want you to think about something, guys. How much should we really have been afraid of a bunch of people living in Afghanistan in the mountains with towels on their head, right? Because they all wear the turbans. They all have their little towels on their head there. That's not a slight. That's not any kind of a racist statement. That's just a fact. What threat were those people truly and really to the United States of America? Were they really a threat? If they were really a threat, why did we not go over there and just eradicate the entire group of people? Why didn't we do that? What did we do? We went over there, we fought for 20 years in Afghanistan, left all kinds of equipment, all kinds of weapons, all kinds of ammo, all kinds of things behind, and then we just left. Did Al Qaeda mysteriously disappear? Did they go away? Did they go up like a fart in the wind and be gone? No, they're still there. They're back in charge again, right? They're restricting women's rights once again, which, wow, what a surprise. I know some of you were shocked that they would do that they would instill these rules and keep women completely under control. Yes, the poppies were part of it. Poppies were part of it with the heroin trade, but there's a lot of money in that, so they're not going to let that go away. They're not going to let that go away. Okay, poppies were only part of it. Which was more rare earth minerals was more so. I mean, the poppies are about 250 million bucks a year, which is, that's a lot of money, but really in the big picture of things, the rare earth minerals are worth way, way more that they have over there that we wanted. So it's always business. It's always business, but disguised as we're going after the boogeyman. We're going after the bad guy. We're the good guys. We're the knights in shining armor coming in to save the day. It's not that way. If you think that that's what America is, you are sadly mistaken. Always comes down to following the money. Who's getting rich off of these different things, and who's making money off of it? And that's what it's about, realistically. Real. Now you want to go out? Again, excuse me, one moment. Huh? Yes? Yes, sir? Yes, sir, buddy? Come on. Okay, you can go. You going out? Goodbye. Again, back to my full-time duty of my job is a doorman for my cats. And he will sit at that door and cry and cry and cry and cry and cry um, to go out there. Did you move from New York to West Virginia? One Duchess, I spend 3 out of every 4 weeks at least in West Virginia. And so, yes, I plan on eventually being down there most of the time, at least 90% of the time is my ultimate goal. In the meantime, what I am doing is every time I come back to New York, I take another load in the truck and I bring it down there. I am not in any kind of big rush that I have to get everything down there at once. As we work on things and as I build things down there, I will continue to bring stuff from here to New York down there. If something ends up happening of an event of some sort that is a worst case type of scenario, my family up here in New York will be coming to me in West Virginia. So that is the ultimate goal, to be down there. It's a better location, much more isolated, and those type of things. And I absolutely love it down there. So no, you can't put Jim. I can't put. Jim Lang says you should put in a pet door. So if I put in a pet door, I will have possums, skunks, raccoons coming into the house. That would be great, wouldn't it? Don't you think that'd be awesome? You got a pet door, that's just coming in your house. So, no, thank you. So I will be a professional doorman in the meantime. So, yeah, All American Prepper said the Taliban is stronger than ever and now highly weaponized with updated weapons. Oh yes, and let's not forget. I want to. This is something that I find very important, and I think that needs to be brought up. Okay, I want you to think about this. So we had all these people that were working with us, as interpreters, in those type of things. What did we do to them when we left Afghanistan? Did we bring them all with us because we want to save them and make sure that they stay alive and are not killed by the Taliban? Is that what we did? Is that what we did, folks? No, of course not. We left them behind, right? Threw them under the bus. That's what we do because we don't care because we're America. We do whatever we want to do. We'll tell you whatever you want to hear. We'll promise you the moon and the stars, but all's we've done, and I want you guys to think about this. All's we've done is galvanize a hatred for America, galvanize the hatred for America by all these folks over there, the ones that we left behind. They're probably like, I cannot believe they left me behind because they said they would help me, they would take care of me. Yeah, well, that's not what we do, right? All games, all games. Oh, I don't know if you guys heard this one, and I do want to bring this up, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this as other things as well. But this is also now. Tell me if I'm wrong. If you've heard something different about this, I would love to hear this. Now, I don't know if this is 100% true or if it's not true, but I heard that Venezuela has been emptying their prisons and sending them where? To the southern border to have them come to the United States. So they're getting rid of their prisoners. They're getting rid of those scumbags that were in the prison and sending them here. Now, if that's true, JJ said, yes, that's true. Does anybody else? Somebody said, I heard the same thing as well. Isn't that nice? Yeah. Send them to the southern border. Let them come here. Because I'm sure when they come to the United States, they're not going to be criminals anymore. No, of course not. They'll become nice, law-abiding citizens. Well, they won't even be citizens because, they don't have to be to come in here anymore. But yet, if you're over in Europe and you want to emigrate to America, you have to go through a lengthy process, right? Just like Cuba in the 80s, yeah. When Cuba sent them all over on the boats and the rafts and sent them into the United States. Yep, exactly, Viking Prepper. We are stupid. We are stupid in the United States. We are very, very stupid. It is very, very sad. People think my ex-wife had the best saying in the world. Best saying in the world, and I always got to give her credit for this. She had the best wit of anybody that I ever knew. Who remembers the show Baywatch? Right? You guys remember the show Baywatch? And David Hasselhoff was the lead lifeguard. He was the big guy, right? So what Amy always used to say to me was, she'd say, can't save them all, Hasselhoff. And there you go. Can't save them all. And she's right. We can't save them all. That's not who we are. We're not, but yet when we get these bleeding hearts in control of things, and oh my God, the poor children and this and that and the other thing, and they're sending women over here that are pregnant, so when they have the babies, bam, we got an American citizen, and now mama's got a green light ticket to get her green card because she has a child that's an American child, and you can't leave that child here, right? The games and the stupidity of this government, and I don't care who's in charge, okay? I don't care who's in charge, so it's not blaming this side or that side. Now, there are different policies by different administrations, right? We already know that. We already see it. Over the last 2 years, we've had more people coming into the United States than ever before. And when these morons that are in charge are changing the policy so that they give them an appearance ticket, here's your appearance ticket to go to court. No, if you're here illegally, you get deported immediately. There is no process. You get no due process. You're not an American. If you come here illegally, gone, out. And again, and I talked about the solution to this. I've talked about very simple solution to this, guys. And it would cost a lot less in the long run. It would cost a whole lot less in the long. And people are going to say, well, if you build a wall and then they'll dig under it and this and that and the other thing. Okay. And I've talked about this. It's very, very simple what we would have to do. You set up a border wall and you have a no-go area, half a mile, mile, right? Whatever you need to have it be. Have that period of area out there that if you come into that no-go zone, just like they have up in North and South Korea, they have the no-go zone, right? Mine it, have the guys up on the walls, and if somebody tries to come over, they are shot, period. I don't care who they are. You have a warning. You know that if you go into this no-go zone, you will be shot. That will stop the immigration nonsense dead in its tracks. It is costing this country trillions of dollars, not billions. It's costing this country trillions of dollars dealing with this nonsense. And we should never have to be dealing with this nonsense at all. It would stop in a heartbeat. Put me in charge. I'll take care of that southern border, and all the bleeding hearts that give a crap about that, we'll take them, and they can go to Mexico, and we'll send them there, and we'll see how things go for them when they go over there with their bleeding hearts. I'm sorry, I'm hardline when it comes to that. We need to take care of America. Period. It's not our job to take care of every illegal immigrant that comes across the southern border. And you know what? Here's the best part. They're not all from South America, folks. They're not all from South America. You got people coming in from Europe, and they're coming up through that southern border. And not all of them have good intentions for America. So if I'm trying to, let's think about this a second. So I am a devious person, and I am a criminal minded person, and I want to come and I want to do harm to America. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my group of people that I want to get through. I'm going to get a whole bunch of South Americans, whatever country you want to put them from is fine. That's great. Get them and have them bum rush across this area. So you have Border Patrol come in, they arrest them, they take them all away. Now what's not there? Anybody watching that spot. So now me and my group are going to come rolling across with our armaments, whatever we're going to be using to get across there, and we're going to go, and nobody's going to stop us. And then we have people here in the United States lined up already to do what we need to do to help us to get to where we need to go, and sit and wait, and now we just do what we got to do. Isn't that smart, right? Once you do it like that, if you were a criminal or if you're a drug smuggler, you do the same thing. You know, I'm telling you guys, we are suckers. American citizens are suckers because we have been fooled, we have been BS'd, and people have bought it. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And who pays for it? And I want you to remember this too. Who pays for this in the long run? Taking care of all these people. Who takes care of that? Who pays for that? We do. All these illegal immigrants that they're putting up in hotels and giving money and giving medical treatment to and all those type of things, we're paying for that. Our taxpayers or dollars are paying for that. That's who's paying for that. And I'm sorry, but if I can't afford insurance because it is so expensive to get insurance, but then these people can come across the border and get free insurance and free health care and free dental, when I have to go to the dentist and I got to pay out of pocket, so I don't go to the dentist for a long time. As you guys know, I didn't go to the dentist. Well, you don't know, but I didn't go to the dentist for years, years and years and years. In the last year, if you guys remember, I went and got my teeth taken care of because it needed to be done. Now, I haven't been back to the dentist this year. Can't afford it. Okay. So, you do what you have to do. But the thing is, when people do everything the wrong way and they are rewarded, that's wrong. I'm sorry. That's wrong. Shouldn't be that way. And that's just me. And then when you put these idiots in charge and they restrict, oh, we're gonna stop crime because we're gonna put these very strict gun laws in place, right? Oh, mass shootings, mass shootings. You see it in the paper all the time. So a mass shooting is more than 3 people being shot in an event. So when you have the gangbanger in name it city, right? Whatever city you want to put the title on, goes out, gets mad, gets drunk, gets high, whatever they're doing. And they're not high on marijuana, because if you're high on marijuana, you're going to raid the refrigerator, sit on the couch, maybe listen to some good tunes. You're not going up shooting anybody up. But when you're on meth and crack and heroin, and well, maybe not heroin because they're like a zombie anyway, but whatever they're on, and they go out and they're pissed off and they shoot up an area and a couple people get hit, that's a mass shooting according to the statistics, right? It's all BS, because what happens is they make these laws that take away the guns from law abiding citizens, citizens that are not out there breaking the laws. Criminals are going to get guns no matter what. No matter what. It's never going to change. I have told you guys this before. All right. Now, here I am in this small town that I'm here in New York. If I drive up the road and I go to Rochester, New York, if I have the money, I can get whatever I want within inside of an hour. If I know the right people, and guess what? I know the right people. I've lived in that circle before. So I make a couple of phone calls, talk to the right people. I can have whatever I want within inside of an hour. Doesn't matter. There's no gun laws in the black market, folks. So criminals can get whatever they want. It doesn't matter. So I'm telling you this because this is the reality. You can have these idiots put in as many restrictions as they want, and the only person that the restrictions are going to hurt is law abiding citizens. And when they make things that you had that were legal, now they make them illegal and tell you, well, now you got to turn what you had. Now they make you a criminal because of the fact that you had this legally before and now it's illegal. So what do you do? What choice do you make? Do you turn it in? Do you hide it? Do you put it someplace else? I mean, those are the choices, because if you get caught with it, you're going to go to jail. Simple. All right. Before we do the egg count here, we're at 824 in the chat. Sorry, I got on my high horse here, folks. I'm, but I get so irritated by the stupidity of this country. It drives me crazy. So we're at 464 on the thumbs up. The goal is 650, so we're like less than 190 away from the goal. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do so to show support. Ed, what happens when people stop voting? Nothing's going to change anyway. Moving on, nothing's going to change anyway. It's all. If you think, don't get me started on elections. I'm sure. Let me just say this before we do the egg count. Let me just say this. I'm sure that all elections, there's no tampering in this country with elections. No, of course there wouldn't be by either side. Of course not. No, it's all very well squared away and done right. I'm sure it is, right? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. That's just my opinion. So, but I'm sure we can trust them. Got to trust them. That's all you got to do. You just got to have your trust. All right. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. Again, it really does help with the algorithms. And if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. So let's do how many eggs today, and yes or no to thick neck lay. We had a very rainy day here, overcast, cloudy day at the homestead, but not exactly freezing cold. So let us get those guesses in there. Give you guys a minute to get your guesses in. So I'll give you guys a moment and we will go from there. So I'm going to have a drink of green tea in the meantime. While you're making your guesses real quick, I'm going to tell you about my website, preppernurse1.com. We have the Prepper Nurse One community there, which is free to join. It is set up for you guys to be able to connect with like-minded people. You do have to register, but no credit card information is asked. Again, it's free to join. Once you're in, check out the message boards, look for people in your state or your country. So definitely take advantage of that. Also, we have the Forefathers, which is the CBD and hemp store. Check them out as well. Again, preppernurse1.com. You will see the Forefathers logo. You click on that, it will take you to their website. Once you're on their website, if you decide to make a CBD or hemp purchase, you can save 15% by using the discount code PrepperNurse1. So remember that. It's the number one, not O-N-E. Last but not least, we have the Legacy freeze-dried foods on my website. So again, preppernurse1.com. You click on store, it will drop down. You will see Legacy Foods. If you click on that, it will take you to the store within the website. Take advantage of that as well. And it is, 25-year shelf life, GMO free, gluten options available. It's vegetarian, but there are beef and chicken options that can be purchased separately. So definitely take advantage of that. All right. Okay. So if you had, and I'm going to probably butcher this last name, but if you had the same exact guess as Emil Kurturu, I believe is how you say the last name. I probably said it wrong, so I apologize. With 7 eggs and yes for thick neck today. So that is where we were at. So if you had the same exact guess is him, I think it's a him. Emil, I think is a male's name, I believe. So if you had the same exact guess as is Emil, then you are correct. And so congratulations, Emil. I hope that you enjoy your fantastic egg count victory. You've won absolutely nothing. So that is awesome. So, but anyway, uh, people are all around the world, folks. We're back to almost exactly where we were 2 years ago. They're frustrated. They've had enough. Now, the other problem that we have going on now with everything that has happened. And so here's what I want you to think about, okay? I want you to think about this. We're going to talk about this a second. We have gone from to be able to go to a restaurant, to be able to go to a movie, to be able to go to a sporting event, a place where a band is playing, if there is a concert, that you had to have on your phone, right? Remember this? Or you had to have your little piece of paper that proved that you had done something, right? Just like Nazi Germany. Show me your papers. Show me your papers. That's all it reminded me of, folks. Realistically, it's all it reminded me of. And I'm going to use my stepson for an example. I love my stepson to death. I think he's a great kid, really great kid. And but he went out and he got this, right? And he did it and he said, "I'll get the boosters too," and all this type of stuff. Okay. Well, I'm doing it for other people because that was one of the mantra talking points that they were doing. You're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for other people, which is a great concept. Okay. So we have gone from this restrictive time that if you get this, remember, we're going to go over some points here. If you get this, everything's great, you won't get sick. And then all of a sudden, we had breakthrough cases happening. And I'm not lying, I'm telling the truth here, right? To all of a sudden, well, maybe it's, well, how did they had to change it then because there was so many breakthrough cases. Well, it's not going to now stop you from getting it, right? We went from you're not going to get it if you get this to you if you do get it, it won't be as severe. How do they know? How do they know? Who made money off of that? That's what I'm going to say. Follow the money and stuff like that. Control, 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 control. And what blew me away is the number of people that got in line. So people are going to say, well, you're an anti this, right? What I am is somebody that says, wait a minute, because I look at a big picture. I'm looking at a big picture stuff. Where's the long-term study? There's not one. Emergency release is emergency release. That's not approved. That's not that it's healthy, it's good for you, even though you were told that this is what it was, right? You're good, everything is fine. Trust us. Trust us. The same people that have been sued for billions of dollars, that they've paid out billions of dollars in settlements because of adverse effects of other products that they put out there that they said that were safe. That's a fact. That is not a lie. That's a fact. I'm not saying that what this thing is bad. I'm not saying that it's good. What I'm saying is, with the number of breakthrough cases that happened, it is not as effective as they said it was going to be. So they had to change the narrative of that. And now we're in a position where all of a sudden nobody has to wear a mask anymore. Nobody has to have your papers to prove that you're okay. I went to the Yankees game this year in Baltimore. I went to 2 games in Baltimore. I went up to Boston and I saw Aerosmith play at Fenway Park this year and didn't have to show proof of squat. Very few people had their faces covered. Very few, right? So all of a sudden, magically, this situation changed. Why? Right? Why all of a sudden now everything is beautiful? You can go out and you can live your life and everything is great. Again, it is an election year. And the people that are in control want to stay in control. So if you are a voter, and the people in your state or wherever you are voted to control every aspect of your life, do you want to keep them in there? That's your choice. So you can vote accordingly. Now, I don't have a whole lot of trust in the system. I was listening to Bill Gates was talking the other day, and I thought that this was interesting. This is what he said, that people don't trust the government anymore. They don't believe them. Basically, he was saying that there or faith. I think he said that people don't have faith in the establishment anymore. I wonder why. I wonder why that would be the case. Okay, when people were forced to do something, coerced, bribed, because that's what the giveaways were. $1 million, you go out and get it. You can be in a lottery to win $1 million. Remember those ones? West Virginia, you could win a rifle, right? We're giving away this many rifles in a lottery if you go out and get this. Why do you have to be bribed? And that's what that is. I don't care what anybody says. It gets called a giveaway. You are being enticed. I guess we won't call it a bribery. We'll call it enticement. You are being enticed to do something. And when the enticement wasn't as successful, then mandates were put in place forcing people to choose, either you do this or you lose your job. And here's the best part about that, which I find fascinating, how this is even legal in any way, shape, or form. The hospitals, with the medical staff and the support workers in those hospitals, if you did not get this by this date, you were considered, you weren't fired, you were considered that you were voluntarily resigning. How convenient for the hospitals that they don't have to pay unemployment or for whatever. Because basically, in my opinion, strictly my opinion, I'm not saying this is the right answer or not, you were fired. That's my opinion. Because you wouldn't comply to get this, you were let go, right? And so now our nursing shortage that has been going on forever and a day is that much worse than it was before because they let all these people go. It doesn't make sense to me. It really, really doesn't make sense to me. And these were the same folks, just remember, these were the same folks that a year earlier, they were the heroes. They were the heroes because they were our frontline workers. They were the ones out there risking their lives to help other people. So you go from being a hero to a zero because you won't do as you're told. Think about that. Think about that. And I just can't. It drives me crazy. It baffles my mind that people have such short attention spans and short memories of who did what to them, and they're okay with that. I'm telling you right now. And again, strictly my opinion. Strictly my opinion. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. You can't. I mean, if I made it up, you'd be like, no, there's no way that would ever happen. And here it's happened. It's happened here. And look at the number of people that just got in line like a good little sheep, did what they were told, and stuff like that. And then they, and the thing is, like I said, again, guys, I don't care if you did it. I don't care if you didn't do it. It's your choice. It's your body. You can do whatever you want to do. But when somebody tells me I have to do something, I'm probably one of the first people that dig my heels in and says, no, I don't have to do anything. So that's me. That's always been me. I'm always going to question things. I'm going to look at what I do not trust big pharma. Period. Period. Okay. That's my opinion. That's me strictly. I don't trust them. I don't believe that they have my best interest at heart. That's just me. Okay. You can think whatever you want. Now, are there a lot of life-saving medications out there? Absolutely, there are. There absolutely are. And I'm not saying that there's not. But there's been a lot of things come down the pipeline that were very detrimental to people. And one of the biggest ones that I can think of is Oxycontin, that you were told it's perfectly fine, safe. You can go ahead and take it. You're going to be okay. Right? Right? Remember that one? I remember that one. And now they're paying out, but they have made so much more money from it. They don't care. And when they have to pay out these fines, right? They don't have to pay those fines all at once. They have these settlements that they get. They got to pay it out over 10 and 15, 20 years. How does that hurt the company? Does that deter them from doing something else in the future? Probably not. Because I have the next thing in line to feed out to you. I don't know. Like I said, that's just me. I look at the big picture of stuff. I have an issue with something that isn't proven to be safe. And I also want you to remember this. It's a very simple term called no liability. No liability. So you have an emergency release product, whatever that emergency release product is. I'm not saying it's this or whatever it may be. You have an emergency release product that if you get it, you take it, right? And there's a couple things I want you to remember too on this one. All right. So you take this emergency release product, and if you have an adverse reaction to it, you cannot sue the manufacturer. Here's the other thing and this has been proven as well to be true. People that have taken this and died like that suddenly, and it has happened, that's happened, right? Life insurance didn't pay off. Why not? Well, that was an emergency release. You didn't have, it wasn't approved. It wasn't approved medication. So there you are. So think about those things. When you get in line the next time to do as you are told, to do with the right thing, to make sure you're doing it for other people, think about those things and think about who's benefiting from something. All right. That is just my take on it. Doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong. I am not telling you what you should or should not do. You have an individual choice of what you can do, and you have to live with that choice. So that is just where I'm at with that one. All right, where is my book? Hold on. I think I know where I put it. Hold on a second, guys. I'll be right back. We're going to do shout outs here in just a second. All right, I got to figure out where I put it. Where did I put my book? I do not know. How could I misplace that? Oh my God, I can't find my. I don't know where I put my book. I don't know where it is. Anyway, it's shout out time, and I have no idea where I put my notebook. Sad. Very unorganized. On your phone. No, I did not, because I did not take a picture of it yet, Prep Rebel. Guys, give me just 1 second. It's got to be in here. Where would it have gone? Did one of you come and steal my book? Hold on. Let me see if I can find this stupid thing. Let's see. You gotta be kidding me. Oh my God. All right. My brain is definitely officially fried, completely fried. You know what I did? So that I wouldn't forget it when I leave, I put it in my to go bag when I was the bag that I take when I go back and forth with my clothes and stuff. Let me put it away so I don't forget it. Ay, ay, ay. All right. Yeah, I'm officially just. All right. Yeah. Okay. Let me do. We're talking about Heather's Etsy account first. Heather has her Etsy account where she does. She makes jewelry, and she also does crocheting. So she makes cat hats and other things as well. So again, as we get ready to do these shout outs, we're at 676 in the chat. We're at 578. The goal was 650. let's blow that away. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And thank you very much ahead of time. I do appreciate that. It really does make a huge difference with the algorithms. So the more interaction we have, the higher up we'll put it up in the chat with YouTube. YouTube continues to play games. They slowly are degrading subscribers because that's what they like to do. It's another one of the games that they like to play. So again, I thank you for that. If you are not subscribed to the channel, I would also ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So thank you ahead of time for all those. Okay, so let's do some shout outs. We have Icky Can up in Canada. Then we have Angry Prepper, which is Jason down in New York City. You have Alaska Prepper, which is Rudy, good guy as well. There is Alaska Granny. You have Sean James and My Self-Reliant, same guy, 2 different channels. Definitely go check him out. He's an unbelievable builder. He's really cool to watch. North Shore Preparedness up in Canada as well. You have Corporal's Corner, Bjorn Hansen, 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. There is Bizzy Rizza, who's also from New York, and he does the Carrington Chronicles, a really cool series, and so definitely check him out as well. You have Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out on the West Coast. Awesome channel. I like Adam very much. You have Magic Prepper in North Dakota. There is Wrangle Star with Cody. Really good channel as well. He's been around for a long time and is a really good guy. Red Poppy Ranch. There's Survival Lily. You have Kyle's Cabin with Kyle and Sierra up in Minnesota sharing their stuff. And you have Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband and wife team. They split their time between Minnesota and up in Alaska. So nice couple, 2 different channels. Green Greg's, there is Southern Prepper 1. You have Gray Man Prepping, St. Bernard Acres with Joe. And Joe was doing a stealth camping thing this weekend, a scenario where he was doing a 72-hour thing with his son to see how they would do if they had to have like a bug out situation. So let's see. Get back on my brain on the right spot. Doug and Stacy, another really, really good channel. I think you should check them out as well. You have the Nomadic Movement. There is the Green Dream Project down in Arizona. You have Camping with Steve. Steve came back with a video today. And so good luck to him, and I can't wait to see what he does next. You have Monkey Works. There is the Needy Homesteader as well, another good channel. Boss of the Swamp. You have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, another really good guy. Definitely should support him. I think he's amazing. Highly, highly intelligent individual. You have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. There is City Prepper, Lumina Acres, Suspicious Observer, Bear Independent, The Uneducated Economist, Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands in Lipama. You have Mary Greeley News giving you all the latest updates as far as Yellowstone and all that goes with the earthquakes and what's happening there. You have Adapt 2030. There's Malachi's Corner. You have Ice Age Farmer. There is Ryan Hall Y'all. We have Russell Brand. I love Russell Brand as well. I think he is, like I said, he does videos that makes people think, and I think that that's important. Let's see. We have Deep South Homestead, The Outsider, The Fit Farmer, Simple Life Reclaimed, Townsend's, The Prepared Mind out in California. You have Pinball Preparedness down in Tennessee, East Tennessee Preparedness, The Economic Ninja, and Little House Off Gritty, who is also in Tennessee. Really quickly, I want to ask anybody, do we have any birthdays in the chat tonight or any anniversaries that anybody has an anniversary that they would like to get a shout out real quick? So anybody got a birthday? Somebody's got to have a birthday. We still got 600 people in the chat, so someone has to have a birthday. Umlet Design, my birthday was the 20th, but it's not today. Well, anyway, happy belated birthday. How's that? No, I'm talking, we got to do birthdays for today. My dad just turned 90 yesterday. Wow, well, congratulations to your father, 80K man. That's awesome. My birthday is yesterday. Liza Divine. All right, well, happy belated to you as well. Oh, John Bonham's death. Well, we're trying to do positive anniversaries here, Jim. We don't want to do the negative ones. Antonio Jenkins, I'm 51 today. Well, happy birthday, Antonio. Congratulations. My granddaughter just had a birthday, Sandra said. Well, happy belated birthday to her as well. Mad Hatter Glitters, I think. It's my birthday. Well, happy birthday to you as well. I just had my 8-year anniversary. That's Bunny Girl 1712. So happy anniversary to you as well. Congratulations. Anyway, guys, going back to the different channels, there's a lot of good channels out there, and I truly do believe we should be all supporting each other. I think that that is a good thing. So, Ace Maduro says, I took a shower earlier, so I was in my birthday suit. That's awesome. Thank you for that visual image. I really appreciate that. My granddaughter turned 10 and her name is Piper. Well, happy birthday to Piper. That's very cool. Very, very cool. All right. So, again, a lot of good channels out there, a lot of good information. I think, again, we should be all supporting each other. I think it's important that we do so. So I would ask you to, go check those other channels out. And if you like them, tell them tell them Prepper Nurse One sent you over, and we'll go from there. So, all right, what are we at? 588 in the chat. We're at 624. So we are, what, 36 away, or 26, I'm sorry, 26 away from the goal of 650 that we set when we started the stream tonight. Let's see if we can blow that out. Let's see how close to 700 thumbs up we can get. When we get 650, I'll be happy. Anything above and beyond that will be great. But let's see how high we can get it up there. Can we hit 700? That would be, with the amount of time we got left, that's going to be a chore. But so again, if you haven't shot that thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel, and thank you ahead of time. Again, it really does make a difference with the algorithms as well. And also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So we're at 641 now. So we're 9 away from the goal and 59 away from 700. Can we do that? We'll see. All right. Let us do this. We are Legion. We are many. We are all over the world. We're all over the country. We are a huge network of people that are preppers, off-gridders, independent thinkers. Where is everybody from tonight? We have Philip from Melbourne, Australia. Good day, Philip. Glad to have you in the chat. We have South Dakota with Wanda in the house. Waterloo, New York. We have BC, Canada. Gatlin, Pennsylvania. Peace from a Celtic Rebel. Congratulations. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Juliet, Illinois. Reno, Nevada. Ontario, Canada. West Virginia. Middle of Georgia. Las Vegas, Nevada. Texas. East Central Minnesota. West Virginia's in the house. Key West, Florida. Heidi in Germantown, Maryland. Very nice. Colorado. Kearney, Nebraska. Littleton, New Hampshire. Virginia's in the house. North Hollywood, California. Southern Virginia. We have Missouri and the Ozarks. Nowhere, Oklahoma. Still my favorite name. New Jersey's in the house. Black Mountain, North Carolina. Bumfield, Florida. Very nice. Campbell, Missouri. Darlington, South Carolina. Northern Texas. Sandra from Dayton, Texas. Sandra. Jen F. from Southwest Virginia. We have Afton, New York. Alberta, Canada. Massachusetts is in the house. Raleigh, North Carolina. Union City, Pennsylvania. Verone, BC, Canada with Gypsy Mama Prepper. Glad to have you here. Ozark Hillbilly in Arkansas. There we go. Nothing wrong with that. We have George's in the house. Vancouver Island, Canada with Prep Rebel. Middle Tennessee, Texas, North Carolina, Iowa. New York City representing in the house. Tasmania, very nice. I just said Tasmania, Jan. Relax. John H. from Scotland is in the house. Kimberling City, Missouri in the Ozarks. Very nice. Dennis, glad to have you here. New Hampshire's in the house. And Jen says, okay. I said it and then you put it up there. So Cork, Ireland, very nice. New Hampshire, got California in the house. Grammys Journal, very nice. Nameless, Tennessee. Madison, Minnesota. Baragua, Guam, very nice. Glad to have you here. I probably said the first name of that wrong, and I apologize. Tennessee's in the house. We have uh, my therapist's son lives in West Virginia. Massachusetts here. Very nice. Very cool. So anyway, guys, we are all over the country. We're all over the world. We are a huge, huge network of people. We are the ones that can make a difference now, and we can make an even bigger impact and difference after an SHTF event because we can educate people, we can help people, we can show them a better way to be more self-reliant. And I think that is something that we should do. I really do. So I think that is an important thing, important aspect of it. So we have Oregon is in the house as well. So what are we at? 668 in the thumbs up. So we're 32 away from 700. So we hit the goal, but let's see if we can hit that 700 just for fun, and why not? So very close to that one. 32 away. Now we're 30 away. So let's see if we can hit that 700 thumbs up, guys. But, I want to continue just to encourage you guys. Try to stay away from negativity. There's a lot of negativity out there. Stay positive as much as you possibly can. Continue to control what you can control. Take care of your families. Put yourself in a situation where you are not a victim. Very, very important to do so. Really, really important to do so. Whatever choices we make in life, we have to live with those choices. So I could never, when I got into prepping, my biggest thing for me personally, I felt like, how could I ever look my children in the eye if I did not provide enough food for them and prepare if an emergency happens and there was an issue? How could I ever look my children in the eye as a man and say, I didn't think about that, I'm sorry? And that's really was a motivating factor for me. And then, then it kind of snowballed a little bit from there. But, it just, we have to be as ready as we can be. And when something happens, we are in a better position. We don't have to be victims. We don't have to rely on that government. And I think that that's important. So we're at 691. So we need 9 more thumbs up, guys. Let's get it up to 700 there, please. That would be awesome. Just for fun. Now we're at 4 away now. 4 more to go. I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. I appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen, that moderate for me. You are amazing. Yeah, we got the goal. Easy. 706 now. That's awesome. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of you being in these chats. It's very fun. It's a lot of fun doing these, and I enjoy doing them. And we have good conversations, I hope. I hope you get something out of it. If you take something away that will help you, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do that. If I wake you up a little bit, if you look at things differently, if you think for yourself, that's definitely something that I want you to do. I want you to think for yourselves because I think it's that important. Also, just that's, again, just trying to help each other. And that you guys help me, I help you. I think that that's great. I learn things as well. I'll be honest with you. I've learned so much from different people. I've met amazing people because of this channel, and it's been a blessing for me. It really has been. When people write me and say, because of listening to you, we were ready, and when this event happened, we were able to get through it. And I think that's probably, to me, the biggest pat on the back that I can get when that type of thing happens. And I think that that's amazing. So I appreciate that. I appreciate people listening and, thinking for yourselves. I think that that's a good thing. All right. Remember, guys, we are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. If we could ever figure that one out, we really, truly will be in much, much better shape. We have to stop letting them divide us. Officially, the U.S. is in DEFCON 3. All military bases in Europe, theater, and the Middle East are at DEFCON 2. That's not good. Be ready, folks. Be ready for anything, really, truly. Um, we got to stay positive as much as we can and hope for the best. But again, I don't have a whole lot of faith. I really, really don't. Also, remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day how you feel. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So we never know what's going to happen. Okay. We really don't know. Terrence Parker Jr. Ed, I started listening to you after seeing your FEMA camp video. Wow, that's cool. That was a few years ago now, huh, Terrence? It's quite a few years ago. That's pretty wild. Well, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you sticking around. So, also remember, guys, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from reaching your goals is you. That's it, nobody else. If you stay positive, stay away from the negativity, stay away from negative people. If you set realistic goals for yourself, realistic goals, you can accomplish anything that you want to accomplish. It's amazing what you can get done. Set a goal, set about to making it happen, and then the next thing you know, you're checking that off your list and you're on to the next thing. And that's a really cool thing, I think. So, anyway, have a great night, everybody. I will see you on the next one. We're at 7:20, so we blew through 700 easy. I appreciate you all. Keep taking care of your families and, hang in there. Okay. I will talk to you later. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.